Not a nice geezer.
Do you want to see another Tudor building?
He don't listen to me, honestly. He's like insistent. He's insistent. What, I'll talk way over?
You've got to wait for green man.
Oh, it's alright.
It's not alright. Where are you going? Emma! Going, guys. Going. You're breaking the law. But is this somewhere we need to come back and explore properly? Is this another... At the minute, it's difficult to tell. It's really difficult to tell. I found Charles Darwin. He's here. Welcome back to the channel. We had a conversation last night and we are so excited about what's coming up over the next sort of year really on Romany Pirates. But first, we are in a place called Bishop Castle, which is, where are we?
Just down from Shropshire.
In this episode, we're going to basically show you different parts of Shropshire. We're just going to go on a road trip through Shropshire basically. There's so many places here to see.
We never have a clue where we are.
Never have a clue where we are.
What we're doing.
This is one of those episodes where nothing's planned. We're just going to explore Shropshire, basically.
Shropshire's absolutely fantastic for parking, by the way. You can park up in any of the car parks, well, most of them, and you can pay for a week. I think it's something like 12 quid. And then you can get parking for the entire week, staying overnight in any of their car parks across Shropshire. Oh, that's hard to say that. In any of their car parks across Shropshire.
It's like one of them tongue twisters,
like
that.
Tongue twister. But yeah, it's really, really good. I mean, we tend to find places that are free anyway. But if you did feel a little bit edgy or a little bit nervous about parking up somewhere free, Shropshire is your place to come. Because, like I say, it's all set up for it, really.
If you are a van lifer or you've got any van life questions or van life related questions, just drop us a message. There's a misconception that van life's hard in the UK, but we've never found it.
No, it's not that difficult, really. There's just short of 2,000 people that live here. All like historic market town. There's all sorts of stuff that about how the people used to come here to trade and what have you years ago. Fab little town. There's a really, really steep hill though. The whole town is basically built on a hill, so I'm now resting because I am full of cold as well. So I'm having a rest and chilling out.
So Bishop Castle is home to musicians, writers, artists. It's got like a real bohemian vibe to it.
We've actually just realised that we have been here before. This happens quite a lot when you're sort of travelling around because there's a lot of places that you don't realise you've been to till you actually get there and then you're like, this looks familiar. Where we bought the little antique from. What we bought from here was an old antique Victorian pram, actually called a pramulator. It was one of the first ever prams, well, it was the first ever pram invented, a pramulator, and it was invented actually in America. And England thought it were an absolutely stupid idea at the time. And then the royal family started using them, and so we started using them, and that's why we have prams today. So the woman had actually had this Victorian pram in this shop for years and years and years, and she refused to sell it to anybody. It was like part of the shop display. And then we came in, and then for some unknown reason, she just sort of said, oh, I think this is meant for you. I think you need to take this. Because she was known for having this pram in the shop. It was like the signature of the shop, if you like. And so she was given this little card, and she actually gave us the little card with it as well, which were absolutely amazing. And we've still got that in the cottage to this day.
We go these days, there's just art. Art seems to follow us, painted on buildings everywhere. Look at these lovely little houses here. What a lovely place to live. Moat and Bailey Castle was built in 1085, and in the 1600s it went into disrepair, and the stone from that was used to build these houses.
A guy called Robert Clive built the market hall here in 1781. His family coat of arms that were put up in his honour. In a market here in Bishop's Castle since 1203, and in 1249 they actually got permission to do a weekly market and an annual fair, and it still runs to this day and it's still just as busy. Apparently the whole street sort of fills with markets and it's absolutely fantastic. It's meant to be really bustling. Unfortunately, the last time and this time we've come, it's not on.
So the elephant is rooted in the history of Bishop Castle, dating back to the days of Clive of India. His emblem was the Indian elephant, and during World War II, several circuses moved their animals here to avoid the air raids. These walls that you can see behind me here are the remains of the old castle. Now they've built like a modern wall around it, but that's apparently the remains of the old castle here. We explored some more around the little streets and then stopped in a cafe called the Poppy House, which served a lovely vegetarian breakfast. We had a cup of tea surrounded by all the cool artwork from local artists.
House on crutches.
Well, that was Bishop Castle. What a lovely little market town, really quiet, really nice.
I enjoyed it. I was just saying, it's like when you go to some of these small villages, it's like on New Year's Eve when people say hello to you, like everybody talks to each other, they're all friendly, aren't they, on New Year's Eve? But rest of the time, most people don't even speak to each other, especially if you're in a city or anything like that. But these little towns, like everybody says hello to you, everybody's just really welcoming and really nice. We'll walk up that hill though. And I'm full of cold. I'm full of cold.
I know, bless her, she's full of cold, she's poorly. Let's get you a nice cup of coffee, we'll get back to Romany the van now. Hitting the notification bell and subscribing just lets you know when we put a video out. The more subscribers you've got, the more it kind of pushes you out. So it just allows us to grow and like grow the channel so that more people are able to watch basically. That's just how it works. So if you're enjoying the content and you like what we do and our travels around the UK and Europe, then hit the subscribe. Back to Romany the van now, and then we're going to go on to another place. Look at the state of Romany. She's really mucky. We need to wash the van, Emma, look. It's because we were going through all them like muddy country lanes last night or whenever it was. Should we go in van? Yeah! Driven further up on an awful road. We should have filmed that, but it was an awful bumpy road. It hill we've come to have a look at the view. This is one of the best places to view kind of the whole of the Shropshire Hills. We're going to have a brew before we carry on moving on.
We've stopped off and had a coffee, which were really nice. We just let Daisy go out for a little bit of a walk, but we're having to sort of just let her go on tiny little walks just to go and do her business, because she's had a bit of a funny turn this morning. She was a bit sick, which sometimes happens when she's not eating enough. And you know that can make her a bit ill, but then she's had a bit of a funny turn where she's just not seemed herself at all today. For anybody that don't know or haven't watched before, Daisy's got her brain is 5 times the size it should be for her head, so it presses on the spinal cord, and that causes a pain sometimes. So she has like steroids and things that she gets given when she has one of these turns. Most of the time we manage it really well, so it's not usually an issue, but she's been all right for quite a long time, and it's just, I think it's the cold makes it so much worse, or if she walks too far, which is why obviously we have the pram for her. But she did a little bit of walking yesterday, and I think that's probably what's done it, is it's just maybe been that little bit too far for her. She only did about 15 minutes, didn't she? But I think it's maybe been a bit far, so we're just letting her, we're stopping off, doing lots of stops, letting her relax, keeping her warm, you know, back at van and what have you. And then we're heading up now, Market Drayton end, I think.
Sort of following through the Shropshire Hills, Shropshire area. We don't know a lot about Shropshire, so it's just a case of exploring. We need to find a park up.
Because we can't stay here now,
Because we can't stay here because there's no overnight parking here anymore. Don't know quite why they've stopped that really up here, because we have been to this spot before and you could park here, but there's no overnight parking. But I think it's something to do with the car parks now in Shropshire. You can stay in every single car park around the Shropshire area.
Yeah, like I was saying sort of earlier on, it's like £12 for the week, or something like that, and then you can stay in any of their car parks. So maybe they've kind of just pulled everybody into certain areas, which is good. It's great that you've got the opportunity to do that, but it also kind of defeats the object of wild camping as well, really, because it's nice to be out in the hills and in the middle of nowhere. And I mean, there will still be plenty of places around here we can stay overnight, but it is very, very windy up here as well. It's a bit high up, really. I think the wind's a bit too much today, and I'm looking forward to spring coming, I'll tell you that much. I'm sick of it. We've all got cold or poorly, aren't we? Daisy's not well. I'm not well.
A little spot for the views though, out up here.
I chasing a carrier bag. That's quite funny actually. He's
Oh,
dropped
bless
it
him.
out of his car.
Good
look.
for him though, for picking it up.
Yeah.
Well done, that man. Right, Daisy, shall we get you in your pod? Shall we get you in your pod? Hit the road.
Boom, boom, there's a knock at the door. But don't freeze.
We're just driving along and we've come across Shrewsbury, yeah?
Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury.
Who would have thought it's
yeah.
Shrewsbury? I've only heard of Shrewsbury, never been.
And we're driving through Reese like, no, I don't like it, I don't like
Don't like
it, I want to stop
Shrewsbury.
here. I was just looking for somewhere to actually get a shower. I really want a shower. Whether we find anywhere here or not, I don't know, but I'm fancying a hot shower. But we just thought we'd pull over and explore here because it looks really nice, doesn't it? There's loads of really nice places.
Driving in, because I'm like, oh, I don't like it. It looks horrible. And then we turned this corner, we're like, holy hell, this is ace.
Yeah, once you get into the centre, you know, there's some beautiful, like a massive bridge as you're driving in, and these beautiful, massive Tudor buildings. It's absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to have a bit of a wander around here and see what there is to find here. So the guy that we'd just been talking about, Robert Clive, when we were in Bishop's Castle, there's actually a statue of him erected here in the centre of Shrewsbury, and he's actually not a nice geezer. From everything that it sort of says about him, basically he kind of caused atrocities across India, famine and all sorts of horrible things that he did across India basically, and he was also looked into in this country for political corruption basically, and investigated for that. He bought kind of votes and bought himself places within Parliament. It seems that he used his money and his wealth to kind of be able to drive forward what he wanted within kind of his parliamentary place. That looks a bit Reese.
Got this map and quickly realised that Shrewsbury is clearly more than just a quick stop off. It's the true spirit of what adventure and travel is about though, isn't it? Just discovering somewhere that you've kind of heard of it back of your mind but you've never even been there, and just realising that there's a whole new world to explore in this place. More Tudor buildings. Tudor buildings everywhere down this side of the country.
It's kind of a mash, isn't it though, like old and new, but they spoil it with new, don't they?
Similar to kind of Bristol, I guess, in the sense that you've got these old buildings mixed in with go outdoors on a new build, you know, or any other shop. Look at these buildings. They're just ace. I've spotted one down here that's like, it's like jutting out from the street, like leaning into the street. I'm gonna go walk down here and just have a look at this. King's Head. So it's believed that on this site stood a chapel circa 13th century. Look how it's like leaning. I've never seen such a great example of a Tudor type building. I think it's Tudor. Like I was saying, it's just a real mix of old and new here. Probably more so than I've ever kind of seen before. Feels, and I mean this with the utmost respect to the place, but it almost feels like it used to be a beautiful place, if that makes sense. They've kind of built on top of the old, that's how it feels. Never been to Shrewsbury, so I don't know, is Shrewsbury a nice place, is it not? Comment and let us know, because we are on a bit of a schedule over this next sort of 2 or 3 weeks, so we can't really stay here, we need to kind of keep moving. But is this somewhere we need to come back and explore properly? Is this another kind of Bristol, I guess, where we're going to fall in love with it? At the minute it's difficult to tell, it's really difficult to tell. Parts of it that are stunning, parts of it that are not. There's quite a bit of rubbish blowing about.
Oh, I'm so confused. I think we're coming down. What's this street called?
Barker Street is this.
Barker Street there.
Must be Rowley's house. That there
right,
must
so
be
what's
Rowley's
Rowley's
house.
house then?
So Shrewsbury, to me, feels like a town that you kind of get lost in. We're not quite sure how big it is or anything, but we're seeing this thing on this map that we've got called Rowley's house, and we're presuming this is it, which is in the middle of a beautiful building in the middle of a car park.
It's a really weird setup,
It's just the
isn't it?
contrast, like I was saying, is mad, isn't it?
Which is similar to Bristol, but then Bristol seems to have, like, they've merged it better somehow. I don't know, the old and the new, they've merged it better. Look at this, it's still got the old lanterns on and everything.
This is cool, isn't it? But it's in the middle of a car park. Just come out of the town centre bit, I guess. But it's like, it's boarded up a little bit. I'm guessing they're probably doing some work on it.
You can see in through windows. It's got scaffolding inside it. They're relaying all
Yeah,
floors
they must
and
be kind of redoing it or saving it, I'm guessing. There's a bin there from 1984. Look at that. 1984 bin.
Look at this. Oh, it's like stepping back in time.
It's cool, isn't it?
Can you see inside that one? Oh, that one, no, you can't see inside.
But look, it's weird because it's kind of surrounded by all this rubbish, which is such a shame. Like, that's a real shame, isn't it, that there's all this rubbish. But it's an amazing building.
We've got no signal here whatsoever. So
No, we
once we've
can't
got some signal,
Google. I
I'll
don't know
be,
why we haven't got any signal. If you know what this is, if you're from Shrewsbury or whatever, then let us know in the comments.
So I've just asked a local person here, and apparently this house was built by a person called Roger Rowley, and it was in the 1500s, and it's believed to be one of the first brick buildings in Shropshire. That's all the person knew, apart from saying that they are doing like a architectural survey thing on it or something.
These different coloured doors on these houses. I love that, like being at the seaside. One day that hat's going to blow off and you're never going to get it back.
It won't blow off, it's really tight on my head.
Not sure what to think of Shrewsbury. It's confusing me. It's confusing me. I don't know if it's good, I don't know if I like it. The buildings are amazing, as you know, we love Tudor buildings and stuff. But I don't know what to, it's not, what's the
Got a
word?
funny feel about it, hasn't it? It's really kind of scattered.
Yeah, it's kind of like, there's no label on it, is there? It's like you're not quite sure what it's trying to give you. Do you know what I mean?
What's it trying to be?
Yeah, what's it trying to be? It don't really know, I don't think, from Shrewsbury, what it wants to be. I think, my best guess is that this has been the town centre. I'm guessing it gets good over there.
No, that's out of the centre, that.
Because look at the buildings though in the distance over there.
No, I don't.
It looks like old London almost.
I think that's just houses over there. That's all modern over
Right,
there.
so which way are we going?
Look,
Daisy's not allowed in there, look at this. No dogs allowed. You're not allowed in there, Daisy. So we're debating what's at the other side of this bridge. I said, oh, look at that, that looks cool. And Emma don't think there's much there, so we're just going to go and have a look. Have a little bit of an explore, not too much of an explore, but just kind of see what's over here, really. See, this is nice. Let me show you this. This is lovely. Look at this. So let's just see what is down here. See if it's worth checking it out. Still confused with Shrewsbury. Let me know please in the comments if we're missing something here, if we should come back. You might be screaming saying, oh, you didn't see this, you didn't see that, I don't know. Emma's getting further and further away from me, look, she's over there now. Where's she going? Wait for the little green man. Where is he? There we go. I think Emma's right, actually. I think she's right. Yeah, she's right, guys. The Indian restaurant to have your dinner. You're right. There's no here. Why have you brought us here?
I told you there's no here, but you
what am I
wouldn't
supposed
have
to show him now?
You wouldn't have it. There's nothing here. It's literally there's one building that's nice there. And that's just the same as the rest. Once you've seen one Tudor building, you've seen them all.
Do you want to see another Tudor building? Comment if you want to see another Tudor building.
He don't listen to me, honestly. He's like insistent. No, I'm sure there was something when we drove over that bridge. No, there wasn't. I saw it. There was nothing. But no, he's insistent. What a top way over. No. Right, should we go back over now?
Let's go back over.
Yeah.
Green man again. Oh my goodness. Where are you going? You've got to wait for green man.
Oh, it's all right. There's
It's
nobody
not
coming.
alright. Where are you going? Emma. Going, guys. Going. You're breaking the law.
There's nobody coming. It's all right.
Breaking the law. I'm going to stand here and wait for green man. A bit of patience could save your life. Look, it's going to red now, which means he'll go to green. There we go. And now I can cross safely without getting myself run over. But anyway, that's where we've come to see, just so you can have a quick scoot
So
around.
if you want to live here, you can pick up a townhouse for about 300,000, and you can pick up
How much?
a detached house for about $500,000.
Wow! So are we missing something here? Because it's nice.
It's a city, innit? Is it a city?
I don't know.
No, it's
Comment
a town.
on that.
It's
Is
a
it
town centre.
Is it a city?
No, it's not,
it
is
a
it?
town?
It's a
Yeah, because
town.
when it say no, but when you go to like Leeds and
It's
Manchester,
a
it
city
says.
centre, won't it?
Does it?
Yeah. Yes, it's obviously it's a very big town, but it's a town, isn't it?
My feet are hurting now.
Well, it's your own fault
you
because
brought us
you made me
across-
walk over it. I told you
you
I
brought us
wasn't fit
across
to
a
walk over
bridge.
there.
Watch it back, guys. Emma says, "Oh, let's go over there. It'll be really good."
It's such a liar.
And I was like, "No, it won't."
Look at that. That's a beautiful view, that.
Daisy, be good. Be good.
Look at that. That's nice.
Yeah, that structure over there.
Beautiful. It looks a bit like a dinosaur.
We'll go into B-roll. So we keep seeing like there's Darwin Shopping Centre, and then Charles Darwin were like spray painted on a building.
And a community centre
And
as well.
a Darwin Community Centre. So we're like, that's odd. Anyway, we've now got Google back because we've got signal back. I had a little Google, and Charles Darwin was actually born here. So he's classed as the father of evolution. So I don't know much about Darwin, only little bits. But do you know much about Darwin?
Yeah, I studied Darwin, but I'm pretty sure that don't want to be called stupid.
There we go then.
I studied it in psychology, but I'm pretty sure people don't be bored stupid by Darwin. But yeah, it's basically like, it's Stratford-upon-Avon, isn't it?
Yeah,
What's
Shakespeare were born in Stratford-upon-Avon, and it's kind of the same thing, isn't it? Charles Darwin were born here, the father of evolution. This is where he grew up, this is where he spent his days.
If you're interested in Darwin, look up the Darwinian theory.
There you go.
Oh, as well.
I found Charles Darwin, he's here. Look. That's him. I'm going to B-roll him. So this building here, which is now the library, was actually where Darwin studied. So that's why his statue is outside here, because he actually studied here. Tells you a bit about it. Father of evolution, born in February 1809. And it says he studied in the building that now houses the library. Charles Darwin. Some beautiful, beautiful buildings. I think this is the museum, yeah. Such an amazing building.
Closed. It says that inside you'll find over 50 swords, 3,000 medals. I think it was like 150 firearms or something like that. It's well stocked then, isn't it?
Well ready, isn't it?
That's the museum. And then there's the castle further up here.
Look at the vines growing up
It
that chimney.
displays the Shropshire regiments between 1755 and 1968.
It looks closed. Emma, I'm going to see if I can look through these railings to get a shot.
It was open today, it's closed.
Ah, we just missed it.
4 o'clock.
Ah, what a shame. It's closed, but I think, please do not climb on the guns. Look at these. These are cool, aren't they? Let's have a look. I want to see if we can see inside here. Not really. It's like castle grounds, walls, isn't it?
Look at that though, it says don't climb on them.
I know.
That's just spoiling a lot of fun, isn't it? That's the first thing I wanted to do, was to go and climb on it. I'm like a big child.
What a shame. It's a shame that, innit? Because you could sit in it and pretend to fire it.
You're not allowed, you get in trouble.
You'll get done. You'll get
done.
told off.
It's all rules, innit? It's all rules. When I was a kid, you didn't have rules like that. Like now you can't even go on like a trampoline without there being rules about doing tipple overs and all sorts of stuff like that.
Tipple overs.
Any of them rules when I was a kid, you just used to barge into people on it and jump up and down and have fun.
Right, it says I can have a Pepsi Max outside that.
Oh, well, that sounds like a plan.
Outside that cool looking Gothic building.
I'm eating those sweets, so that's why I'm...
Magic sweets.
Yeah, like I've got a really bad chest again. And so I'm eating those sweets and it's going to be really ice cold when I have a drink now.
Cough sweets, cough medicine sweets. They're horrible, them, aren't they?
They're
Some of
awful.
them you get are really nice, but some of them
These
are horrible.
But I'm poorly.
You're poorly, so you have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna play on this like a man
Right,
does,
you're gonna
like
milk
you
it.
do when you're not well.
So we've just stopped here for a little rest at the St Nicholas Bar and Grill because it says I can have a Pepsi Max on that sign. And I thought, oh, I'm really thirsty. Emma needed toilet, so I said, oh, let's have
That's a cool
drink.
place.
Here it is now, look.
That's a really cool place.
Is it cool inside?
Yeah, it's quite it's just sort of quite modern, open, but real sort of chill out vibe to it.
Cheers. Ah, it's nice and refreshing. I don't usually drink any fizzy pop at all. I normally just drink water or coffee. And caramel lattes, obviously. Sometimes orange juice, apple juice. But apart from that, I don't usually drink fizzy drinks. But I just saw that sign then I thought, oh, I really fancy a cola with some ice. So we'll sit down here, just chill out. And then I think head back to the van, go find this park up in Market Drayton where we're going to. Possibly checking out Whitchurch as well, although that might be next week. Depending, we've got all the editing to do and then filming for the next one, so that might be next week. So yeah, we'll just see, but we'll show you the park up where we're going to park up tonight. We're going to finish this and then we'll head back and show you that.
This is just absolutely amazing. Look at that. It's still got the cobbled floor as well. And this was the original gateway to the government house. It was built in 1610 and King Charles I, I believe it was, actually stayed here in 1642. Absolutely beautiful. Why don't we make things like this anymore, like buildings and houses? It's just such a shame, isn't it? So we've arrived in Market Drayton. The car park where we're in is absolutely brilliant up here. You can park overnight, it's completely free, it's permitted, it's welcomed. You just pay for the parking during the day, which I think is about £4 for a day. So we're going to explore Market Drayton tomorrow and have a wander around.
So this is where we are. I'm obviously going to park a lot better than that, but this is the car park at Market Drayton. It's dark now, we're tired, so we're going to get some tea, get the bed set up and just check out a couple more places. But that's it from us for this week, guys. We'll catch you next week. Thank you so much for watching and keep writing your own story.